And this here is not a lesson. It's not a lesson. Okay, this is a call out to all of these camps to shut it down immediately. This is a call out to the camps to shut it down. Okay? By the sound of my voice, shut it down immediately. I'm dealing with the topic of our ancestors, okay? The Hebrew Israelites. And they was black. They were all black. When they was in Egypt, living among the Hamitic Egyptians, they was black. Okay, and this focus is mainly on Ephraim. Okay, the tribe of Ephraim. And we know for a fact that when the Israelites were in bondage in Egypt, we know for a fact that they were all black people. We know this for a fact. We also know that the Egyptians that descended from Ham, we also know that they was black as well. We know this for a fact. And what is this topic again? To shut it down immediately. Okay, this is a call to all the camps to shut it down immediately. We know for a fact that the Egyptians that descended from Ham was black. Okay, and we also know that when Joseph's brothers went to Egypt during the famine, they did not even recognize their own flesh and blood. Why? Because like the Hamitic Egyptians, Joseph was also black. Okay, with woolly, kinky, nappy hair. Yes, I said it, nappy hair. Just like the Most High, mentioned in the book of Daniel. Okay, Daniel wrote that his hair is pure like wool. Okay, not this stringy, straight horse hair. The Most High don't have no damn straight horse hair. His hair is pure like wool. Okay, so we know for a fact that the Hamitic Egyptians and the Israelites were black. And what's the name of this topic again? To shut it down immediately. Okay, when Moses or Moshe, when he led the 12 tribes out of Egypt, and it said that he left, when they left Egypt, they left as a mixed multitude, okay, but they left all black. Okay, they left 600,000 strong. Okay, they left Egypt black. Nobody can deny this. Nobody. I don't give a damn who it is. Nobody can deny that when they left Egypt, they left 600,000 strong, and they were all black. Okay, they was black. Even before, when Jacob died, okay, the Egyptians and the Israelites went up together to Canaan to bury Jacob. And it says that the Canaanites, they could not tell the difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites. Okay, they thought that they were all Hamitic Egyptians. Why? Because they was all black. What is the name of this topic right here? Tell these camps to shut it down. Shut it down. Okay? When they left Egypt, they was all black. 600,000 strong. And they dwelt in the wilderness for 40 years. And guess what? During that time, when they dwelt in the wilderness, which was the desert for 40 years, guess what? They were still black. Okay, they haven't mixed with nobody. Okay, even the strangers in their camps that was among the mixed multitude, they were black also. 40 years in the desert, and they were still black. Now when they reach Edom, okay, now for those of you who believe and teach that the white man is Esau, you cannot say that they mixed with no Edomites. And about time they reached Moab, the Most High told Moses, he said to count the peoples, to number the people, so that he would know how many men that they have, just in case they had to go to war. Okay, so Moses commanded the peoples to be counted. What's the name of this topic? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. Moses numbered the peoples, okay? And when he counted the people, when you read the book of Numbers, it says that a total amount of 600,000. It says 600,730 peoples. And out of those peoples, when you read verse 37, it says that the sons of Ephraim, okay, were 30,000. Okay, as a matter of fact, it says 32,000. The sons and daughters of Ephraim were 32,000. It says in 500 peoples. And guess what? They were still all black peoples. What's the name of this topic? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. Shut it down immediately. At Moab, it says 600,000 Israelites strong and 32,500 Ephraimites. Where are the white people? Where are the white peoples that they mix with? Where is the cake unturned? So far, we left Egypt 600,000 strong, all black, dwelt in the wilderness for 40 years, 600,000 strong, all black, reached Moab, still 600,000 strong, all black. Okay, 32,500 plus Ephraimites, all black. Where is the cake unturned? Where is the white folks that they mix with? What is the name of this topic right here? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. And they finally reached near the Jordan in the plains of Moab. Moses died, and they were still black. Okay, they were still black peoples with woolly afros, as many of the biblical scholars wrote, and many eyewitnesses, they had afros. They were still black Negroes, all 12 tribes, 600,000 strong. Where are the white folks? In order to produce pale skin, stringy hair, white pale skin peoples, like many of these Latin Hispanics, the Israelite men had to be white. And we know for a fact that they were not white when they reached the Jordan. We know this for a fact that they were all black. They had not mixed with no white nations by the time they reached the Jordan River. No white nations. Where is the cake unturned? Where is it? It's a lie. What's the name of this topic? Tell these Negroes in these camps to close up shop. Close up shop. The Israelites were black with woolly hair. Okay, they wore afros. Most Europeans have straight, thin, stringy horse hair. And just like these beauty supply stores throughout the country, in all of these black neighborhoods owned by these Koreans, you can find horse hair, the same texture as the Europeans. Straight, stringy horse hair, not woolly, not kinky or woolly like our hair, like the Negroes, like the Israelites, like the Most High, like his son Yeshua, like the Egyptians, like Ephraim and Manasseh's mother, who was a black Hamitic woman. What's the name of this topic? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. Israel was black all the way up to the time when they went into captivity above the Euphrates in Assyria and the Babylonian captivity. They were always black. Okay, the Roman historian Tacitus wrote that the Israelites looked like the Ethiopians. Black Negroes with woolly hair. Okay, not this straight, stringy horse hair. Woolly hair. Even if you took a white man, okay, and they mixed with black women, even if a white man planted a seed inside of a black woman, like Bob Marley's mother. Okay, Bob Marley's father was a white European British man. Can't get no whiter. Okay, he planted his seed in Bob Marley's mother, who was a black Negro woman, and Bob Marley came out with woolly, kinky hair, just like Tracy Ross, Diana Ross' daughter. Her father is a white man, but her hair is kinky, nappy, woolly, with Negro features like Bob Marley, with brown skin. Even with a white man, when he plants his seed in a black woman, that child will still come out with kinky, woolly hair and Negro features. Why? Because the blacks have the dominant gene. We have the dominant gene, not the white man, not the pale-skinned Hispanics. We have the dominant gene. During the time of King David, all the way up to the time of the Assyrian captivity, that the Israelites were well over 1 million peoples. Well over 1 million. And Ephraim had roughly 60,000 peoples. They said that it was anywhere from 25 to 30,000 men from the tribe of Ephraim. And no 25 to 35,000 men mixed their seed with no damn white folks in that region to produce no Latin Hispanics. Let me say that once again. No 25,000 to 30,000 men, black men from the tribe of Ephraim, mixed their seed with no white folks in that region to produce no damn pale-skinned Latin Hispanics. The white race, for the most part, did not begin to migrate to that region until the Greeks and the Romans. And the Israelites, they hated the Greeks and the Romans. They hardly mixed their seed with the Greeks and the Romans. And Tacitus wrote that there was black like the Ethiopians. What's the name of this topic right here? Tell these Negroes in these camps to shut it down immediately. Shut it down immediately. Now they teach that the 10 tribes came over to the Western Hemisphere on ships where mankind never dwelt, including the Caribbeans. This is what they teach. Now Columbus wrote, when he first landed in what is called Puerto Rico today, that the Taino Indians, they were a tan skin, very short in height. He said that they had long, thin, stringy, jet black hair, like horse hair. Now let's assume that the 10 tribes came over on ships where mankind never dwelt, which is a lie, but let's play their game. Let's play the game and let's assume that they came over on ships where mankind never dwelt. That means that the Taino Indians were Ephraimites, correct? This is what they teach. They teach that they came over where mankind never dwelt. So let's play the game. Let's say that the Taino Indians were from the tribe of Ephraim with straight, stringy horse hair. Let's play the game. Now, we know for a fact, and any historian would tell you, that the majority of the Taino Indians were completely wiped out. This is facts. The same thing happened in Jamaica with the Arawak Indians. Many of the Indians throughout the Caribbean was wiped out in Puerto Rico by the Spaniards. These are facts. What's the name of this topic? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. So the facts are that the majority of the Tainos was wiped out by the Spaniards. The Taino Indians, they hated the Spaniards. They fought the Spaniards, but they could not beat the Spaniards because the Spaniards had guns. So they almost wiped out the Tainos completely. But how did they repopulate Puerto Rico? I will tell you how they repopulated Puerto Rico. Many of the white European Spaniards, they migrated from Spain to Puerto Rico, and they married many of the Taino women, and they planted their seed inside the Taino women. And from many of the white Spaniard men planting their seeds in the Taino women, you have a product today of pale-skinned Latin Hispanics. Their forefathers are mostly white European Spaniard men. And that is why the majority of the pale-skinned Latin Hispanics that you see today have straight, stringy horsehair like their forefathers. If their forefathers was black Negroes with kinky woolly hair like these camps teach, and then they would still be black today, being that the Negro or the black race have the dominant gene and the white race have the recessive genes. Don't get it twisted. The black race have the dominant genes and the white race, they have the recessive genes. Okay, that's a scientific fact. But their forefathers, for the most part, was not black Negroes, but Spaniards. This is why they look the way they do, because their forefathers do not have the dominant gene. The Negroes or the blacks, we have the dominant genes. That is why a black man can plant his seed in a white woman and that baby will still come out Negro with woolly hair. Maybe a lighter skin complexion, but with Negro features and woolly hair. And here's another example. Here in New York City, the mayor, de Blasio, his wife is a black woman. De Blasio is a white man and his wife is a black woman. And their son and daughter have Negro features with kinky, woolly hair. Why? Because the blacks or the Negroes have the dominant gene. In fact, white folks here in New York, they fell in love with de Blasio's son. I believe that he won the election because his son had an afro. But goes to show, even a white man planting his seed in a black woman, his children will still come out black with black features and kinky woolly hair. What is the name of this topic? Tell these camps to close up shop immediately. And I proved that the majority of the Tainos was wiped out. And they was repopulated by the Spaniard men planting their seeds in the Taino women. Therefore, the majority of the pale-skinned Hispanics that you see today, or Latin peoples with straight stringy horsehair, their forefathers are Europeans and not Israelites. The scriptures say that you are who your father is. What is the name of this topic right here? Tell these Negroes in these camps to close shop immediately. So, in conclusion, we know for a fact when Moses led the 12 tribes out of Egypt as a mixed multitude, they left as a black nation. We know this for a fact. They dwelt in the wilderness for 40 years in the desert. They were still black. We know this for a fact. When they reached Moab, they were still a black nation. We know this for a fact. They did not mix with no white folks, and all of the surrounding nations were black. We know this for a fact. When they reached the Jordan River, we know for a fact that they were still a black nation and all the surrounding nations were black. They did not mix with no white folks. We know for a fact that no 30,000 plus men from the tribe of Ephraim mixed their seeds with no white folks in that region. And we also know that a whole nation like the tribe of Ephraim did not become whited out when the black race is the dominant race. We know this for a fact. We also know that they did not come over here on no damn ships to the Western Hemisphere where mankind never dwelt. We know this for a fact. We know that the Taino Indians never lived in that region. They never took no damn ships to the Western Hemisphere. We know this for a fact. And we also know, as Columbus wrote, that the Tainos were a short people with tan skin and long, straight, stringy black hair like horses. Okay, we know this for a fact. And we also know that the majority of the Taínos were wiped out by the Spaniard men. We know this for a fact. And we also know that Puerto Rico was repopulated by the Spaniards when they married many Taíno women and planted their seed in the Taíno women. We know this for a fact. We know that the black race is the dominant race. This is factual. Okay, this is a scientific fact. We know that the only way that the Hispanics or the so-called Latin Hispanics can look the way they do now is that their ancestors had to be white and mixed with non-blacks or non-Negroes. This is a fact. That's the only way that their forefathers had to be white and mixed with non-blacks or non-Negroes, and that is exactly what happened. The Spaniards mixed their seeds with the Taínos, and the Taínos were not Negroes and they were not black. And what's the name of this topic again? Tell these camps to shut it down immediately. Nothing that I brought out, not even Satan himself, can deny anything that I brought out today. It's been over. You know, this lie has been debunked a long time ago. It's been over. But this is just something right here for you to think about. What's the name of this topic right here? Tell these camps, these lying niggas, to shut it down immediately. No whole nation of black Israelites became whited out by no other nation. These niggas are teaching you that a whole nation of Ephraimites, they all somehow became whited out. A whole nation of Ephraimites mixed their seeds with other nations and became whited out. This is what these niggas are teaching. When all the surrounding nations back in the homeland were black. And when they reached the Jordan, there was well over 600,000 strong. 60,000 Ephraimites. Around 25 to 30,000 black men from the tribe of Ephraim. Did not all mix their seeds with no white folks. If you believe that, then you are dumb as I don't know what. And we know damn well that did not happen. And that is why I say, tell these lying niggas to shut it down immediately.
Latinos, deconstructing a colonial myth. The Taínos are the indigenous people of the Caribbean, including part of Florida. We are different from Hispanics and Latinos. Hispanics are people from Spain. Latinos are people from Southern Europe. Before 1492, there were no Africans or Spaniards on our land, or people of any other race. There were only Taínos. Some people may think of us as Native Americans or American Indians. While the etymology of these terms can be debated, this is correct. Latino comes from Latin. Latin is the root language of all the Southern European languages, known as the Romance languages. From Latin America comes the colonial identity, Latino. The term Latin America was coined by the French economist Michel Chevalier. It was a political move to ally the conquered, now Spanish-speaking and Portuguese-speaking part of the Americas with Latin Europe in their struggle with Teutonic Europe, Anglo-Saxon America, and Slavic Europe. Our people have been used as pawns to fight Europe's wars against each other. As for Hispanic, Hispania was the name the Romans gave to the Iberian Peninsula during their conquest. From Hispania, you get España and Spain. From Hispania, you get Hispanic. In my head, I pronounce it Hispanic for clarity, because the term only describes things from Spain, just like Latin is for all things Southern European. Latinos, deconstructing a colonial myth. The Taínos are the indigenous people of the Caribbean, including part of Florida. We are different from Hispanics and Latinos. Hispanics are people from Spain. Latinos are people from Southern Europe. Latinos, deconstructing a colonial myth. The Taínos are the indigenous people of the Caribbean, including part of Florida. We are different from Hispanics and Latinos. Hispanics are people from Spain. Latinos are people from Southern Europe.
Hygiene and sister inside of Rastafari. Even the child of their mother's breast are sighting up Rastafari. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. Many are called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. Many are called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month of the 7 days, the words of Jah came to us saying, I shall send unto the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Send the chosen sons from afar, and his daughters from the ends of the earth. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. Many called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. Many are called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. A living God, 12 tribes of Israel shall gather. All the lips all over my God, Jah Almighty living God. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month of the 7 days, the words of Jah came to us saying, I shall send unto the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Send your chosen sons from afar, and his daughters from the ends of the earth. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. 80,000 careless Ethiopians shall go down in Babylon. Many are called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. Many are called, but few shall be chosen to go to Mount Zion. All the links that I have received is filling all over me. Even the blind cannot see, is feeling the pressure from Babylon. I am feeling all the pain from Babylon's links that I have received all over. Their face so ugly, they look just like the devil.